We're looking at solutions to a system of inequalities from a slightly different perspective. Last time what we were doing was looking at two inequalities that were just written out, and maybe it looked like something like this. Y is greater than 2/3 x plus 5, and y is less than or equal to 4x minus 2. And we gave you some points, and we said, hey, are these points a solution to these inequalities? And so you would say, if you had the point 0, 5, and I wanted to know if it's a solution to both of them, I'd put 0 in for x and 5 in for y there and see if it works. And I'd put 0 in for x here and 5 in for y there and see if it works. And if it worked in both of them, then we said yes, it's a solution to both. Well, now what we're doing is approaching this from a little bit different point of view. We're gonna be looking at two inequalities that are on a graph and asking you the same question. So I've copied two problems from Delta Math onto here. And so here's the statement first. Below are two inequalities and the graphs of their lines. Identify which point would satisfy both inequalities. So I'm going to move this up here to kind of get them out of the way a little bit, and then bring this down so we can look at it. And the points are down below here. We'll bring them back up onto the screen here shortly. So what we're going to be doing is asking, which of these points that are down below fits into both of these inequalities? Well, the problem is these two inequalities aren't quite finished being shown here. We've got the lines for each of them, but I don't know which way the shading is. So first off, what I'm going to do is try to figure out, well, which line goes with which. And what I'm going to do is just kind of put a little colored star right here, and then say, okay, which one of these lines, this one or this one, actually fits with that? Well, this one's got a y-intercept of -2. Well, both of them do, so that didn't help much. But this one also has a negative slope, which means it's got to be this one. So I'm just going to put a little mark right there that's blue and say, okay, that one is the inequality that goes, that's the graph of that one, except it's not shaded yet. So which direction would you be shading? Well, a couple ways you can look at this. One is to say, all right, since this is y is less than, then it must be shaded below the line. So we would say, okay, it's shaded down below this one, so down here. Another way you can think of it is this. The graph has to be a picture of all the answers that work, and so what I'm going to do is just pick some point and see if it works, and if it does, then I'm going to be shading that way. So I'm going to pick this point right here. That's the point 0, 0. Right there, 0, 0. And I'm going to see, does 0, 0 fit into this inequality? Well, what that means is if I put 0 in for x, do I get, and 0 in for y, do I get a true statement? Well, -3 times 0 is 0. -2 gives you -2. So in other words, this whole left side would be, sorry, the whole right side would be -2, and the whole left side would be 0. And is it true that 0 is less than -2? Well, no. Okay, so in other words, the shading for this one here had better not be going to that side, because 0, 0 doesn't fit. In fact, none of the other points over on this side will fit. So the shading's got to be over here. So let me put some shading over here. Okay. Now let's put a little red. Oops, not that way. Let's put a little red star by this one, and say, which way is that one going to be shaded? Well, let's just try 0, 0 again. If I put 0 on the left for y, okay, I get 0 on the left side. If I put 0 in on the right, I get -2 as well. And is 0 less than -2? Well, still no. So that one can't be shaded toward this point 0, 0 either. So it's going to be shaded away from 0, 0. Okay. Now, here's the question. Which part of this thing has both of them being shaded? Well, just this part right in here. Kind of right in there. Okay. So I can clean that up a little bit. Kind of right in this space right here. So now, here's the question. Which of those points down below actually fits that? Well, let's see if I can move all this stuff up here. I was hoping I could move the shading as well. Maybe I can't. Yeah, I did. Okay. So, which of these points fits down in here? Well, 0, negative 10 would be, don't go left and right, but go down 10, so that would fit. 7, 8, that would be up here somewhere. That doesn't fit. Negative 7, 2, that'd be there somewhere, right about there. That wouldn't fit. And 0, 8's up high here. So yeah, this one would be the answer. Okay, right there. Okay, let's look at another one. Okay, same kind of question. I'm going to scoot this up here. And maybe what I'll do is make this a little bit smaller so I can see the whole thing at once. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's start by figuring out which one's which. We'll start with a little blue mark over here. And that one's got a negative slope, and this one's got a negative slope, so I'm going to say this one's got to be the one that corresponds with that one. And I need to figure out the shading as well. Okay, well, I like testing that point 0, 0. If I put 0 in here and 0 in there, do I get a true statement? Well, negative whatever times 0 is 0, plus 4 gets me a 4 on the right side. And is it true that 0 is greater than 4? Well, no. Okay, so this blue one had better not be shaded toward that point 0, 0 because 0, 0 didn't work. So I'm going to put some blue shading over here. Okay, to indicate that that one's shaded up. Let's pick a different color here for this one. Okay, green. Okay, and let's test 0, 0 in there as well. If I put 0 there, let's switch to green. If I put 0 there and 0 right here, 3 times 0 is 0 plus 5 gives you 5. Is it true that 0 is less than 5? Well, yeah. Okay, so this one right here, the one that would be the green one, is going to be shaded toward the point 0, 0 because 0, 0 worked. So let's get some green shading going here. Shading toward 0, 0. Okay. And now the question is, which part of this is shaded twice? Well, this area right in here, let's get it kind of right in this region there. Okay. So which of these points down here goes in this region over here? Well, 10, 8 would be 10 here and 8 that way, so that'd be right about there somewhere. That's reasonable. 0, 8 would be up here. That doesn't work. Negative 9, 6, that's over here someplace. That's not going to work. And negative 1, negative 3, it's going to be down here. That doesn't work because it's not in both of them. So yeah, 10, 8 was the answer. Okay, let's see if I still have Google or Delta Math still up here. Okay, and yep, 10, 8 right there. Okay, so that's how you're going to do these things. When you get a new one, you're going to say, all right, first of all, which line is which? I figured, hey, that one's negative slope, so it's going to be that one there. And this one is going to be shaded down below, okay, because it's a less than. This one is going to be shaded up above because it's greater than. So up here for that one and down here for that one. So the question is, which region is going to be shaded both? It's going to be right in here. So which of these points is going to fit in this region right in here? Well, let's see. 1, negative 4 is not going to be, it's going to be down here. Oops. Right about there, so that wouldn't work. Negative 1, or sorry, 1, negative 4, I already said that one. 10, negative 5, no. Negative 8, 7, that's up here somewhere. But negative 9, 0 would be right here, so that one's going to be the answer. Okay, all right, well, I hope that helps.